Thanks, Russ. That was awesome. Welcome, everyone, to this evening's event. My name is Bruce Peace, and I have the privilege of serving as a Gateway District Membership Chairperson. We're excited about our time together tonight and look forward to the opportunities of the future. Thank you for attending this call tonight. And we respect your time on a weekday night, and we'll keep this meeting to around 45 minutes. Our goal is to introduce you to how embracing an optimistic mindset can not only make a personal impact, but also impact the lives of others in your community. So let's start on a journey which can change your life, and it has changed thousands of other Optimist members' lives throughout the world. Before we hear from our keynote speaker, I'd like to call on Gateway District Governor Albert Steele for a few comments. Albert?
Thank you, and thank you all for allowing us this time. You have chosen to learn how to become a better citizen by optimistic service and fellowship. Together, we can make a difference in our youth, our communities, and ourselves. Let us show you. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Albert. Now it's my pleasure to introduce you to our keynote speaker for tonight. Internationally acclaimed entrepreneur, speaker, trainer, life coach, Steve Dennis has shared the stage with such personal development masters as John Maxwell and Jack Canfield. Steve is a member of the John Maxwell team, an elite group of certified coaches, communicators, mentors, and the #1 leadership expert in the world, and New York Times best-selling author, John Maxwell. In 2009, Steve founded Motivation Unlimited, an organization created to inspire progressive changes in lives of people personally and professionally. He began providing mastermind groups, lunch and learns, corporate training, speaking engagements for individuals and organizations seeking personal growth, leadership development, customer service, and teamwork. In 2011, Steve became a founding member of the John Maxwell team. So please join me in welcoming Steve Dennis.
Well, Bruce, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And I'm excited about the message that I have to share with you because I believe it's going to add tremendous value to you. And at the same time, it's going to help all of us to become better. So I have a question to get started with, okay? When you were a child, who literally comes to your mind as an optimist? Who was optimistic in your life as a child? What an amazing question to entertain. Now, I know for me, the first person I think of happens to be my mom. Let me tell you the reason why. You see, my father was 61 years old when I was born. Yeah, 61. And mom was like in her mid-30s, around 35 years old. So as you can imagine, when I'm 10 years old, my father is 71, and most of my friends thinks that he is I heard you, my grandfather. Absolutely. And so it was years later when I was probably around 10 or 11 years old when I started to notice that my childhood neighborhood friends had fathers who had black hair, and my dad had all the gray hair. And I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, why did you marry such an older man?" My mom shared with me, she said, "Well, son," kind of in a humorous way, she said, "Well, I didn't have any plans on having any more children." She said, "I guess your father had some more lead in the pencil." But here's the bottom line. What you don't know is that in 1963, my mom had 3 sons that died in a house fire. 3, ages 10, 5, and 3. That was in 1963. Now, she and my father had started dating. My father was not the father of those 3 kids. She was a single mom. But they had started dating probably about maybe 3 months before their death. And around May of 1963, my mom and my father wound up getting married. But again, she had no plans on having any more kids, which kind of led her into the whole aspect of marrying a man that was older. But to her surprise, 1965, December the 7th, Steve Dennis shows up. And then 3 years later, a younger sister. Now, why do I share this story with you in regards to how my life has been so hugely impacted by my mom, who was an optimist? She was very optimistic in raising us, even though she had experienced a tragedy that none of us could even begin to imagine. And to even wonder, how can she succeed in raising three more kids? I have an older brother that was my father's son from a different previous relationship as well. But here's my whole point. She's my hero because she literally poured stuff into me. In other words, I love to share with people that it's not based on what you give children, it's what you put into them. And what she put into me has made me to be the man that I am to this very day. So I share that story with you simply because it literally illustrates that we all have our own stories. But guess what, my friends? And the name of my subject tonight is that it shows how all of us are designed to make a difference. Yes, you are. You are designed to make a difference. I am designed to make a difference. I mean, you can tell I'm very excited because every time I get a chance to speak to an audience, either through virtual or in person, I'm excited because of the fact I recognize that I am here on purpose. I mean, go figure, right? I mean, my mom told me in a very joking way that I didn't have any more plans on having any more kids. And she wasn't telling me that I was a mistake. Thank goodness for that. I was not a mistake. Okay. But here's the bottom line. I showed up for a unique purpose. And my friend, I believe that success is when you and I literally know what our purpose is. Number two, when we are constantly recognizing the importance of growing to our maximum potential. And then thirdly, when you and I can be in the process of sowing seeds that benefit other people. And oh, how important that is for Optimist International tonight, that we are joining together so we can collaborate and even learn more of how we can. Maybe some of you tonight, you're looking at the idea of being a part of an organization where you can sow seeds that literally benefit the lives of other people. So I share that with you because I just love the fact of knowing that by the time we're done tonight, I'm going to share with you a list of questions that will help you to identify how you and I are designed to make a difference. I love the word design simply because the word design simply means made intentionally. It also means planned. The word design also means intended to. So you and I were intended. In other words, your creator, before you showed up here, you are already in his mind and was planned to be here at this particular time to make a difference. So how many, if we were live, I would ask you to raise your hand if you agree with me, if you agree with me that you're ready to make a difference, that you want to make a difference. Well, with that being said, let me share with you something I'm so super excited about in regards to this happens to be my transformation statement. Now, I remember being in school and remember the teacher oftentimes would ask us questions in the classroom. And if I didn't know the answer to the questions that were being asked, I would try to hide behind the person who was sitting in front of me. Or if I raised my hand, I would very slightly raise my hand, not all the way up. But oh my goodness, when I knew the answer, if I knew the answer in class, it was nothing for me to have both of my hands raised up. I would raise my hand because I want the teacher to call on me because I have the answer. I have the answer. And here's my point. I'm excited tonight. My hand is raised because what I'm about to share with you now, it's going to help you to recognize that you and I not only have the answer, but we are the answer. If we were live, I would invite you to repeat after me and to say this with as much enthusiasm as you could possibly say it. It happens to be, again, my transformation statement. This is the statement that we use when the John Maxwell team, and I was chosen to go along with John himself to the country of Paraguay, and we trained over 20,000 leaders in 5 days. And here's the transformation statement that we gave, and we also lived in. I want you to join me, okay? Here it is. First of all, I want to make a difference. You can say it in the privacy of your own home. I want to make a difference. Get this, doing something that makes a difference. Doing something that makes a difference with people who make a difference. And I love this part, my friends, at a time that makes a difference. And oh, aren't we in a time where making a difference is more important now than ever before? So I'm so excited that you're here with me tonight as we talk about being designed to make a difference. Steve Jobs said this. He says, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are usually the ones who do. I'm inviting you to join me in this time that we're in to bring about change in our world. My friend, it's our time. It is our time to step into our design. Let me repeat that because it does rhyme. It is our time. It is our time to step into our design and to make a major difference. Let me read this to you because I believe it's going to, at the same time, help us to identify the role that we carry in regards to rising up to this particular time. Okay. And here it is. In every age, there comes a time when leadership must come forth and meet the needs of the hour. Let me repeat that. In every age, there comes a time when leadership must come forth and meet the needs of the hour. Therefore, there is no potential leader who does not find his or her time. There's no potential leader who does not find his or her time. You're going to always find your time. And this is our time. However, tragically, there are times when no leader arises to the hour. Now, I want to invite you, along with myself, to make sure that we are listed in the front part of this particular quote and not the latter part, that in every age, there comes a time when leadership must come forth and meet the needs of the hour. And that's where we are today. I love the quote by John F. Kennedy, and this applies to all of us on the call tonight. Okay, John F. Kennedy said this. He said, I believe everyone has a change the world speech inside of them. I just love that. In fact, I love it so much. I'm going to say it again. Again, President Kennedy said this. I believe everyone, he says, everyone has a change the world speech inside of them. My question to you tonight, my friend, have you recognized that speech inside of you? Have you recognized that seed inside of you? That seed, that speech, that change the world conversation that you have inside of you. So you may be asking the question, so how do I get started? How do I get started with a designed life that is meant to make a difference? Because my friend, here's what I believe I teach on a regular basis, that you and I are either creating our lives by design or by default. And tonight I'm going to give you a list of questions that will help us to make a difference by design. Question number one. What have I been given? And I want you to ask yourself this question. What is it currently that you have been given? In other words, this question challenges us to look backwards, to look back at our lives. What have you been given? For an example, I know for me, when I look back over my life, I recognize I've been given encouragement, enthusiasm. I was raised by an amazing mom who poured so much into my life. who encouraged me. I'll give you a quick story. For an example, I failed the fourth grade when I was a kid. And the hard part about failing the fourth grade, it was not the fact that I failed the fourth grade, but what made failing the fourth grade more difficult was this guy, and I won't call his name because some of you might be kin to him. But he snatched my report card out of my book bag, and he noticed that he saw that I had failed the fourth grade, and he told all the other kids that were walking home that day, Steve is a fat flunker. And it just hurt my feelings so bad. And I'm walking home with my head hung down, just knowing that when I get home, that mom is going to probably add more fuel to the fire and give me this long speech of disappointment. But no, when I got home, mom basically looked at my report card and looked at me, and she said, baby, you would do better next time. She placed her hand. Now, get this. She's an optimist. My mom transitioned in 1995. She placed her hand on my right shoulder and said to me, baby, you would do better next year. My friend, I'm 55 years old, and can I tell you, I still live under the guidance and the guide of those words. No matter what I do in life, whether I make it, whether I cross every T or don't dot every I can still hear that voice saying, you'll do better the next time. So my question to you again tonight, to entertain, looking back, what is it that you've been given? What resources can you draw upon? What accomplishments? What life lessons do you have? What have you been given that you can give back to others? Which leads me to the second question. What do you have to give? What do you have to give? What do I have to give? And this question challenges us to look inward. The first question challenges us to look backwards, but this question challenges us to look inwardly. What is on the inside of you? What is it that has shaped your life to become the vessel that you are today? What is inside of you that can help you make other people better? You know what? Anything and everything you have can literally be used to help others and to add tremendous value to the lives of others. And my friend, especially the younger versions, children, teenagers, again, the people group that this organization does a lot to make a difference in the lives of people, okay? So keep that in mind. What do I have to give? And then thirdly, what can I do? What is it that I can do? And this question challenges you and I not to look inwardly, not to look backwards, but to look outward. What can I do? You know as well as I do that small actions made consistently will lead to big changes. What can I do? What an amazing question for you and I to live into on a regular, ongoing basis. What can I do? Because this question, my friend, it challenges you and I to take action. So the summary of my talk tonight is very simply this. I've shared with you the three questions that will help you and I to live a life by design that is intended on making a major difference. What have I been given? What do I have to give? And what is it that I can do? I shared with you my amazing transformation statement that it bears to be repeated again. I want to make a difference. Doing something that makes a difference. And here's the kicker. Optimist International are people who make a difference at a time that makes a difference. Will you be a difference maker? Will you be that person that will say, I raise my hand to take a stand, to position myself to tell others and to share with others that you would do better next time. So I conclude tonight by reminding you of this amazing teamwork principle that when challenges escalate, the need for an optimist elevates. Will you tonight make the decision to elevate your life so that you can help up level the lives of others? And you and I will be able to say, in the words of one of my heroes, Mother Teresa, I can do what you cannot do, and you can do what I cannot do, but together, you and I can do great things. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to share with you today. Be well.
Thank you, Steve. Man, those are some great remarks. I sit here thinking about some of the things. There's so many comments that you made in your speech there that in your time with us, that the one that really sticks out is this is our time to make a difference. So we appreciate your joining us tonight, and you have really motivated us and challenged us going forward. So the rest of you on the call, you may be asking, how do I join other optimists in serving others? Next, we'll hear from Optimist members Gwen Gable and Russ Thomas. Gwen is a past Gateway District President and currently serves on the host district convention chair for this year's international convention to be held in Atlanta in June. Russ currently serves as our Optimist International membership chairman. Both Gwen and Russ are members of clubs in the Gateway District, which we're proud of, both of them. So Russ and Gwen, talk to us a little bit about how optimists are making a difference in today's world.
Thank you, Bruce. I'll be glad to. I got to tell you, Steve, I want you to know I got my hands up. If I could take my shoes off, I'd stick my shoes up, because I tell you, I want to make a difference. And I know that today's the day to do it. So I have to look over here because I see you over here and my other things over here. So I want to make a difference. And what better way to start? Gwen and I are going to take you through a few minutes and spend a little bit of time with you. And I like to think about optimism. So hope, positive vision, the light at the end of the tunnel, better things ahead. These are the gifts our optimists will give to you. Optimism helps us through the toughest of times and helps us to be strong and stronger than any challenge. This has been a year of the pandemic. Each of us has had the opportunity to refine our normal. As the world gets closer to the light at the end of the tunnel, what will be your new normal? On the things we will do, what things we'll do, where will we go, what will we do when things get back to normal and the pandemic is over? The places we will go, the adventures we will experience, life is gonna be great. Today we change the world not because we must, but because we want to. We have learned that so many others have had it so much worse than us. And now we can make a conscious decision to make a difference with the children and others in need in our communities, just by being part of something bigger and better, optimism. Today, we make that decision to focus on a new adventure, to demonstrate an attitude of gratitude and community service. That's where we need to be, and that's where we're going from here, and it's going to be better than ever before. Today, we realize there's always room for one more kind word, for one more smile, for one more heart opened, and more positive direction and guidance in this world. Our minds, our bodies, our souls know this, and they live in our heart. Right, Gwen?
Right, Russ. No longer do we have to project our happiness onto some imagined future date. Our time is now, and we can decide today to serve our communities, children, and others in it. A favorite author of mine, Vivian Green, I think said it best, and I quote, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain." And as optimists, we fill the void that has been left in the despair of COVID by fully grasping what it means to be alive, positive, and optimistic. And we have learned how to dance in the rain. We can be in awe of what it is to come by the choices we make today, in awe at knowing that today is a better day and that we can change the world through love, through caring, giving, and most importantly, through service to others. We can be in awe at the infusion of energy from the children and those in need in the communities we serve. It is today, through optimism, that we live life to its fullest while helping those in need. Optimism is a lifetime commitment, and we ask you to consider making it with us. Now, you may be wondering, but how? Well, we want to share with you just a few examples of what some of our groups are doing in their local communities right here and right now, despite this very challenging year of challenges. So we have optimists who are changing the lives of children and their communities through their actions. We have optimists who are dedicated to serving not only the children, but others in their community. And we have optimists who, through their actions and their dedication, are becoming better people themselves by servicing others.
That's fantastic, Gwen. I got to tell you, every time I hear those words and I see what the optimists are doing, it changes my heart forever. And I'd like to share a small story with the team here. And it's about a young mother who I spoke with at a food bank here in Georgia. His story is much like one that's playing out all over the world, like the thousands of families who are still lining up at the food banks every day and every week. For these families, finding optimism, it isn't easy. It's hard when your kids are hungry. Maria, one of the ladies that was a single mom at the food bank that I was working at, she said, I just need help with the groceries and some essentials. She had been let go from her job many months ago. And as of that day at that food bank, she still did not have a job. She told me she had worked through all her savings. She used to work at a volunteer, a place much like a food bank at her church. And now she's in a position where she has found herself turning into and being a part of the kindness that strangers have given to her, much like the Optimist organization does every day in their community. Today, in many communities, our clubs support their local food banks and supply pantries to support those members and those needy in their area. Much like this mother of two, today optimists are helping children who are victims of child abuse. Can you imagine victims of child abuse and bullying? Today, optimists are serving children who have been trafficked. How sad is that? Today, optimists are mentoring students struggling in this pandemic learning environment. My goodness, look at all the things that we're doing in our communities.
Yes, Russ, these are great examples of what optimists do every single day. And as Steve Dennis mentioned tonight, by being intentional and playing a more significant role in our communities, we can change the world one step at a time. Now, you may be wondering, guests, this evening, what can I do? What might your first step be for reaching your purpose? For making a more significant impact in your community? Well, we invite you this evening to consider adding optimism to your new normal. How can you be a better person? How can you help change your community? What will your legacy be? Are you ready to be intentional tonight and join our amazing Optimist International organization? Are you ready to not only be successful in your life, but to make a significant impact and difference in this world? Are you ready to sow your seeds, to grow your potential, to maximize your potential? Are you ready to add yet more value to your life? And are you ready to make a difference in your community while maximizing your potential? We ask, be purposeful, become a member of Optimist International, and help us change the world. Help us make a difference, one step at a time. Bruce, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen and Russ. That was great information and very inspiring. I hope that everyone has seen the benefits of joining us in service tonight to others. We've talked about everything that the Optimists do and are doing and will do in the future, but why not take that first step tonight to become an Optimist? It's very easy. We've made it very easy for you to become an Optimist. We have included a link in the chat, and if you can click on that link to join us today. And by signing up tonight, you will join other like-minded members of your community to make a difference. We want to thank you for attending this call tonight. This concludes our formal presentation.